Can everyone just stop getting injured during the title run-in, please? Good morning, 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 and welcome to another edition of the Arsenal Breakfast Show. It's 7 a.m. We are live from Babs HQ. It is Wednesday, the 25th of March. It is Hump Day. And we've got a lot to get through this morning. There's a lot of crap circling in the Gooniverse at the moment, but there's some also interesting stuff which we'll have a chat about shortly. Good morning to you wherever you are, wherever you're listening from, wherever you're watching, if you're on the podcast, if you're on your way to work or whatever you're doing. Thank you for joining us this morning or this afternoon or this evening. And thank you for getting in touch as ever. I am Edwin Ash. I am your host. And we are going to look at a lot of stuff this morning, but not before I say the obligatory, guys, I love you. You're all great. We're all fantastic. You've been offering a lot of support for us here at the Big Arsenal Breakfast Show, and we are very, very appreciative. But we would be even more appreciative. It would be top tier appreciation if you could like and subscribe. Pretty please, because it helps us reach more Gunners. We've been going now for 3 and a bit weeks, nearly 3.5 weeks. And it's been brilliant, but we would love to reach more Gunners. And the only way to do that is if you can help us with a little like and a little subscribe and spread the word, basically, so that you can have your say on the Arsenal on this show, which has been designed for you to have your say on this show. That's what we want. That's what we're trying to achieve here. So if you could like and subscribe, that'd be brilliant. You can also join the discourse, the debate, the conversation, because we are all over the shop. We are at Big Arse Breakfast on TikTok. We are at Big Arse Breakfast on Instagram. And we are at Big Arse Brekkie on X. And we are also on Blue Sky at bigarseBreakfast.bsky.social. And you can email us, show@bigarsenalbreakfast.com. That's show@bigarsenalbreakfast.com. And we would love to hear from you. We would love to hear from you. We want you to get involved. As I said, trying to grow the channel to get to many Gooners so we can talk about the Arsenal every day. Imagine talking about the Arsenal every day. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Like if you're sat at work right now and you're thinking, God, I need some Arsenal in my life. And God damn it, get some Big Arsenal breakfast down here. We have the podcast also. So if you're on the move now, if you're around your flat, you're having your coffee, you're putting your pants on back to front, you're going, fuck me, I've got to go into the office. I'm really... and I've got to miss out on what seems like some premium content from this new dude, don't worry. We've got your back. We've got the podcast. The podcast is released about 20 minutes after we finish. 20 minutes. It's not bad, is it? So it can be in your ear when you're on your way to the office or whatever you're doing, or you can listen to it later. Or as I said the other day, if you're having a shit break and you think, you know what, I'm going to go downstairs and listen to the Big Arsenal Breakfast for half an hour whilst I squeeze out my brekkie, then by all means do it. So that's the podcast as well. Anyway, that's enough of the begging. Today's show. So, Eze, not so dark arts then. Ooh, I thought it was a little bit of a little tweak. I can't be going on international duty. No, it's not. He's busted his calf. But we'll come to that. We're going to be talking a little bit about some players that have been kept behind after class, who are sticking around, who are not going on international duty. And we're also going to have, as ever, your big ass opinions. As I said, you want to get involved, get involved. The socials are right down here in front of me. I've already read them out. Get in contact with us and your show, not your show, if you start a show, that'd be good. Your comments will get read out on our show and we will interact with you like a family of piggies. Bit of news around the world, bit of not Arsenal news, just football news in general. Mo Salah is set to leave Liverpool, tearing up his 400 grand a week contract. With agreement, obviously, to leave on a free at the end of the season. I can't help but feel that Liverpool completely gotten away with one there. You really have gotten away with it. Well done for both parties for mutually going, do you know what? I don't have it anymore in the Premier League. I'm going to go and make some cha-ching over in probably Saudi Arabia. So they've kind of got away with that. They weren't lumbered with him on a 400 grand a week contract. If that was Arsenal, that player would be with us until they died. We would not be able to get rid of him. Right, first of all, let me say good morning to G-Dog. G-Dog is with us. G-Dog. How you doing, buddy? High five. G-Dog, you are going to be an honorary member of the Big Arsenal Breakfast Show. I'll tell you that, man. I'll tell you that, man. When we look back in 15 years' time and there's 100 million people trying to get in the chat, you, sir, are going to get first dibs because you're a dedicated guy and we really, really appreciate it. What's on your mind this morning, G-Dog? How you feeling about the Eze thing? That's what we're going to get into right now. So, so we feared the worst. Like, we thought it might be just a little tweak. We thought he might be just staying behind. We thought it might not be a big deal. But it has been confirmed. Reports clarify that calf injury he picked up during the win over Bayer Leverkusen was a lot more shitty than what we thought. We thought it was fine. It wasn't. He felt some discomfort during recovery training at London Colney. Obviously, he missed the Carabao Cup final. Watching on, if you remember, he looked pretty darn upset, didn't he? He looked pretty darn upset watching on from the sidelines. That was not a good look. And I was like, oh, that doesn't look good. So he has withdrawn from the England squad. Now, they say it could be 4 to 6 weeks. Now, let's face it. Let's be honest. With our injury-cursed luck, that is 100% bound to be 6 weeks. Plus, any time it takes him to get up to scratch. So, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What does it actually mean? What does it really, really mean? Is there any silver lining? He doesn't have to go away. No, not really. Maybe he gets. Do players get a rest while they recover? Is that something? Does the rest of the body go, oh, thank God I'm getting rest, but the calf is like, no, heal me up. I'd love to know if there's any benefit to this. Is there any silver lining we can cling on to? Because at the moment, I'm not seeing anything about this. It's really, really frustrating. So we're going to have a quick look at the games he's going to miss, which could be up to and including FA Cup. I mean, he may not have featured in that anyway, but do you know what? He probably would have done given our lack of creativity in the midfield at the moment with Ødegaard, etc. But he's going to miss the Southampton game, the FA Cup on the 4th. He's definitely going to miss Sporting away in the Champions League, then Bournemouth at home in the Premier League, then Sporting away in the Champions League again. Is there a game on the 19th? My slide doesn't include that. There might be another one there that I've missed. Yeah, there's a game on the 19th. Yeah, it's Man City, isn't it? Of course it is. He's going to miss the Man City game, then Newcastle, and likely Fulham, and then probably, if we make it through the semi-finals of the Champions League. I mean, talk about crap luck. Crap luck in extremis. So that, I mean, what we really have to hope for then is that Ødegaard comes back. That Ødegaard comes back. He's missing international duty. So we're going to hope that Ødegaard comes back fit, firing, ready to go, which he had, let's face it, has not been great this season. Well, we're going to start looking at that Saka in the number 10 role again, which personally, I wasn't a big fan of. I didn't think it was that good. I've heard other Arsenal fans go, yeah, I think, I reckon Saka there, they'll look good. I didn't think he looked good when he played there in those couple of games. Really? Wasn't that exciting to me. And then Havertz again, the Havertz option with Gyökeres, the Havertz in that kind of number 10-ish role, that floating midfieldy 10-ish role. Again, he's not up to scratch either. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit of a moaning Molly this morning, but I just don't see it being anything other than the solution being Ødegaard being good again. And I'm a little bit concerned about that. G-Dog has jumped into the chat. He said, couple of days off, back to work this morning. I haven't really engaged with anything Arsenal since Sunday. Fair enough, mate. Eze is a big blow because he's been our form midfield threat. Shame. We just need 5 wins. Yes, we do, G-Dog. We just need 5 wins. We are capable of getting 5 wins, right? Touch wood, touch wood, touch wood. We just need those 5 wins. It's a hell of a point. I keep shitting the bed about this, but come on, man. We can do that with what we've got left, right? We can do that with what we've got left. Yeah, it's a big blow because he was just starting to come into form, wasn't he, G-Dog? He was just starting to come into form, and now, pop, calf gone. Also, G-Dog, what'd you get up to on your days off? Anything good? Some brew dogs? What went down other than the brew dogs? Right. Moving on. International watch. Right, who's going? Right, let's just have a summary of who's going, who's doing what, who's staying, who do we keep an eye on? So from an England perspective, we know that Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Noni Madueke are all involved. Ben White got called up again. We'll come to that in a minute. First call-up since 2022. Well done, Ben White, although some people wouldn't say well done. We'll come to that in a moment. I've got some shit to get off my chest, I tell you. I'm about to go buck wild on some journalists. And then we've got people involved in serious stuff. So Calafiori for Italy, Norgard for Denmark, Victor Gyökeres for Sweden. They are involved in those do-or-die World Cup playoffs to reach the 2026 final. So they are going to be, well, I don't know what we got to do. We've got to pray to the footballing injury gods that none of them, and I mean that, none of them. I know there's been some talk about Gyökeres and whatnot, but he is what we have, and we need him to be involved. So Calafiori, Norgard, Gyökeres, all involved in proper football matches, not just friendlies. David Raya, Zubamendi, and Christian Mosquera, who earned his first ever Spain call-up. Yeah. Well done, Mosquera. That is awesome. They're off for Spain. They've only got friendlies. Hopefully they won't get silly minutes thrown at them. And then Kai Havertz will go back with Germany. That might be a good thing. I don't know. This is the thing I was saying about Ben White. Is that a good thing? He's getting minutes whilst he's away. He needs minutes maybe to get up to scratch. I don't know where the risk factor is there. I really don't know. Get involved in the chat or the comments if you want to get involved in that. Martinelli is off to Brazil. I think they're playing in the US. And then Hincapié, obviously Ecuador, is traveling to friendlies in Spain and the Netherlands. So he's not going far. That's a good thing. Sometimes that travel, always with the Brazilian guys, wasn't it? They always had to travel so far and it's so grueling on the body. And we always used to see problems with that. But luckily, those that are staying. Now, this is where we get smart. I'm not saying it's dark arts. Apparently, this is all legit, by the way. I was saying yesterday, it's just Arteta going, oh, so you're injured. But apparently, they're all carrying little niggles. It was enough for those international teams to go, do you know what, you can stay. And that includes William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Leandro Trossard. None of them are going. They've withdrawn from France, Belgium, and Brazil. And then we've got the rehab group, which effectively is Ødegaard, Timber. You would say Eze, but yeah. I mean, we're targeting for Ødegaard and Timber. They've got to be backed by Southampton. They don't have to feature for Southampton, but surely they've got to be in and around that sort of bench area. And then we've got some that are not selected. Kepa. Oh, dear. Sorry, dude. And Jesus. Jesus as well is not going anywhere. So what can we do with those guys? Get them fit, get them firing, get them ready. Is there any juice left in Jesus? Does anyone think there's any juice left in Jesus? Does he have something to offer us before the end of the season in this title run-in? G-Dog's jumped in the chat. He said, beat City, and it's probably 3 and a draw. No, don't drink often. Day out with the wifey yesterday and fishing Monday. Oh, man. Sounds quite cool, man. You don't drink often. Good for you. I try not to drink often. Try being the operative word. Fishing I haven't done since I was about 15 years old. Used to love it, but don't have the kit anymore or the patience. I'm glad you enjoyed your time off, man. Really cool. Did you catch anything good? What did you fish? I used to really like catching massive perch on my pole. Don't be cheap. Right. It's time for some big ass opinions. Apart from the two penalties you gave away. Way too dry. Yeah, that joke never gets old. A big old guff. What have I got there? I've got someone on the screen that shouldn't be there. Right, starting with some of your comments. G-Dog, who's in the chat. G-Dog, who's in the chat. I think missed the show yesterday. We forgive you for that, man. If you were out fishing, I could forgive you for that. G-Dog said, got in contact over, I think it's YouTube he commented, right, mate? Morning. If only now Saka and Rice will pull out. Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice, G-Dog? Wouldn't that be nice? Is there no way we can arrange that? I must give it to Tuchel. You have to give it to Thomas Tuchel. He did say they'll join up later. They'll play not the first game, the second game. And he recognized they've all played over 3,500 minutes. And he said they had credit with him. That's good. That is the first sensible England manager we have had in ages in this modern era of football where players are playing games, top class players are playing games every 3 days. It's not just Saka who's busted. It's not just Rice. If you look around those other clubs with your Fodens, etc., they're all busted. Cole Palmer, all gassed to F. So from a club perspective, it's good for us. From an England perspective, if you follow England, it should be good for England as well. But I still would have liked them to pull out G-Dog. I'm with you on that. Right. BV.Dedenox. He thinks the solution to our midfield problems, the Eze conundrum, is Max Dowman in the centre attacking midfield role. Or Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz, yep, fair enough, if we can get it to work. Max Dowman. I mean, I like it, BV. I really, really like the idea, but sure, we're all kind of in agreement. Like 16, right in the middle, taking all those scything challenges from players that don't like to have their pants pulled down by a 16-year-old. I would worry about that. I would really worry about Max Dowman starting centre midfield. However, I'd also be very excited by it. That's not a bad idea, is it? What do we think, chat? What do we think? Max Dowman starting in the midfield? I don't know, man. Sounds a bit dangerous. And is he ready for it yet? You know, learning your trade, applying your trade on the wing is one thing. Going straight into that centre midfield, right? Do you know what? Fuck it. Let's give it a go, BV, right? Let's give it a go. Right. Mal Smith got in contact regarding fixing the attack. He said the manager needs to make tough decisions. Saka has to be dropped for a start. He's worse than average at the minute. Worse than average. I mean, some of his underlying metrics, his involvements, they may not convert to G's and A's, but he's been okay. But by his standards, he's not been top drawer. Saka being dropped, I wouldn't call it dropped. I'd like to see him rested. I've said this for weeks. I think Noni deserves a start. He's direct. He brings something different. He needs a bit of rhythm. He needs a bit of flow. I think he's a good player. I think we can start him v Bournemouth. Come on, give the guy a go. But yeah, the Saka conversation lingers on. Right, let us talk about Ben White. Let me just move my microphone because shit's about to get real. Shit's about to get real. So Henry Winter has done another stupid Arsenal hit piece. Henry Winter, he posted a thing on Twitter, on his website. He said the mood amongst England fans is that Ben White didn't deserve a recall after his self-imposed exile. Mostly the mood is that he shouldn't be in the squad. He's made his bed, says one top capper. One top capper. Do you want to name that person, Henry, or have you just made that up? Do you want to name that person? I don't see anyone around the internet really having a go about Ben White being in the England team at all, apart from you, by the sounds of it. I really don't see it. He goes on to say, be interesting to learn the reaction of some of the players training at SGP today. White's a good player, but Livramento and Spence vying for right back. The hope is that James could regain fitness for the World Cup. Trent overlooked, etc. Here's my column. Well, Henry Winter, what I would say to that is I can imagine how the players react to that. I can well imagine how the players react to Ben White being back. And that is, they don't give a fuck. They really don't. I don't think they care. He's not the first person to fall out with a coach, and he's not going to be the last. Where have you been for the last 15 years? Where have you been for the last 15 years? It's not like these players hate each other anymore. Watch these big derby games. Watch what they're like with each other, even to much of a fans' chagrin. We see them playing and laughing and joking and pissing about of each other in the tunnel before the game and after the game. Most of them are mates. Most of them talk to each other. This is not the golden generation of your Gerrards and Ferdinands and Terrys and Lampards and Nevilles and all those guys that completely, by their own admission, messed up a golden opportunity to win some trophies with England because they couldn't get along, because they had their cliques and they sat on their own tables and they didn't bond and they couldn't forge a decent team, which, credit to Gareth Southgate, got rid of all that when he brought in the good vibes. I mean, this is not the same era. They like each other. Do you know what I think they're thinking? Do you know what I think they're thinking? Those other players are thinking, I wonder if this guy has still got it. I wonder if he's still got it. I wonder if he can help us on the way to glory. What can he bring for us? Right? That's the only question you should be asking about Ben White. What message does it send to the players? What message does it send to the players when Steve Holland absolutely balls out Ben White in front of his peers because of what he chooses to do or not do in his personal life? And that is whether he watches football in his spare time or not. What kind of message does that send? And I don't think there'd be anyone here that wouldn't go, do you know what? You've just had a go at me for absolutely no reason. Give me a bollocking. Fuck you. I'm going home. Right? I don't think, would you do that in your workplace? just let your boss walk and go, "You're fucking shit, you are. What do you do in your spare time?" You say, "I don't need this. I don't need this." I admired Ben White for going home. I really did. But the only question really is, what do the players think? I think they think, "Yeah, welcome back, mate. What have you got? What have you got for us?" What kind of message does that send, really? And also, what kind of journalism is this? We had the golden generation of players, and now we're thankfully seeing the end of the turd brown generation of journalists. This kind of level of curtain twitching journalism, like, what's going on over there with Mrs. Miggins? Come on, man. Come on. Let the guy have his redemption arc. And most of all, let him or let the players see what he can do for the team instead of him fabricating absolutely pointless stories. Think, man. Absolute clickbait garbage every single day. Anyway, Hand of Arsenal on the Ben White thing. Hand of Arsenal said, Joe, I'm going to break there because G-Dog's got involved. Steve Holland is a bellend. Yes, he is. Ben was right to fuck them off. So many people kept saying he isn't patriotic. Why would you want to be around that? And further to that point, G-Dog, when you saw those videos of when Ben White first got called up to England, he could not be more happier. He could not have been happier. I remember seeing it on Sky Sports. His family, he was absolutely gassed. You can tell he loves and wanted to play for England. I honestly I give Ben White, at the time, I gave him so many stones going, do you know what? I'm going to risk my England career on my principles of not being called out by a dickhead in Steve Holland, who, bearing in mind, Gareth Southgate had to offer the olive branch after the fact because he knew that Steve Holland had fucked up. He knew it. And Ben White said, no, respectfully, no. He didn't make a song and dance about it. Oh, that's got the blood going. Hand of Arsenal, he's talking about Ben White. He said, Everton is showing its strong interest in Ben White. Other clubs have made inquiries. It's the Toffees who are leading the race as of today. The strategy is the same as last summer. Andrea has been identifying multiple targets, their personal terms, price range, and squad stylistic need. Before narrowing down the list. More or less, most of the names you've seen being inquired about. Livramento, for example, would jump at the chance to sign for Arsenal should we firm up our interest. I'm going to break there. I'm worried about that. He's always injured. The same can be said for Alex Jimenez at Bournemouth. Arsenal will begin to formalise interest in their final shortlist in the near future. There is a strong emphasis on mandate to sell well this upcoming transfer window, a criteria that Andrea will be judged on heavily this summer, as he should be. Buying players is one thing, selling them is another. I'll tell you, Andrea, the way that we have our selling setup, you got your work cut out for you. We'll talk about this later on. I think I don't really want to go into speculation about who we're selling until towards the end of the season. Basically, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Martinelli or even Ødegaard were on that list. Let's face it, injuries and maybe not growing. I don't know. Speculation. I don't really want to start that here. Let's wait and see what happens at the end of the season. But it was interesting that teams are interested in Ben White. Why? Because he's a fucking good player. Okay, instant karma take of the day.
Instant karma take of the day.
The instant karma take of the day. Something to bring down the temperature. I need to bring down the temperature this morning. Good God, I need to bring down the temperature. I'm just going to move my mic. Ooh, good grief. Just a little bit something to get you riled up before I head into work pissed off. Okay. The XG philosophy. The XG philosophy, right, has put out Arsenal's new quadruple probabilities. Quadruple, you say? Arsenal's new quadruple probabilities. Oh, fuck me and my tempting fate with this. Premier League, 90%. Champions League, 29%. I feel like that's generous, but FA Cup, 38%. Spurs relegation, 37%. That's the real quadruple, right, guys? That is the real quadruple. Spurs relegation would be... I think most people would have taken Spurs relegation over winning the Carabao Cup. I would. 100%. 100%. Oh, God, please let that happen. It'd be so funny. Oh, God. Oh, wow. What a season that would be. What a season that would be. But there we go. There's the chances, the probabilities, who knows. Look, the reason why I put this in there is like we've shat the bed, not all of us, but actually I think the fan reactions have been pretty good overall about the Carabao Cup. Yeah, okay, disappointing. We didn't play well. Well done, City. Who cares? We'll see you at the Etihad, right? But look, the reason why I chose this one, it's all still to play for. It's all still in our hands. We're still in a really, really good position. So there's no reason to completely poo our pants just yet. And that's kind of it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. We are here every day. It's a new show. It's 7 a.m. And if you're worried about catching the other shows afterwards, we very purposely said, let's not clash with any of that other good shit out there. All right, there's no competition. There's none of that kind of thing going on. We just thought 7 a.m. would be a good time to do an early breakfast show, a different kind of show with loads of people involved. So my message to you after this, get yourself over to the Gooner Talk. Of course, it's fucking brilliant. Tom Canton is brilliant. He's more like a proper journalist. I'm not. I just make shit up as I go along. I don't make shit up. I do have some credentials somewhere, honest, promise. But that's what we're here for. We're here for you. It's a breakfast show. It's supposed to be fun, exciting. Like and subscribe, please, if you can be bothered. If you can't catch all of this, we've got the podcast, as I said, for your daily commute or whatever you like doing, and just getting involved in the comments and the socials at Big Arse Breakfast on TikTok and Insta, at Big Arse Breakfast on X, and we're on Blue Sky as well. Show at bigarsenalbreakfast.com is your emails. But whatever you're doing today, man, have a good day. It's hump day. It's hump day. We're halfway through the week. We're careering on. As ever, we'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Get your ass in gear.